Good evening and welcome to TC Network. I am Tim Hoki bringing you today's news. Today's top headlines include: exam paper leak accused will be given strictest punishment, says President Murmu. Maydays loot abandoned properties of cookies in Jiribam. Mar Students Association condemns. Biren Singh convenes meeting with ruling MLAs to address current situation. Nagaland government hopeful of solution to Naga political issue in Modi 3.0 tenure. IMD forecasts heavy to very heavy rainfall along West Peninsular coast during next 4 days. News in details. Controversy from leaked question papers to the award of grace marks over the NEET exam for admission to medical courses found mention in President Draupadi Murmu's speech in Parliament Thursday morning. Addressing a joint sitting of both houses, the first in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's third term and one likely to be rocked by opposition protests over the NEET rule, Ms. Murmu said the government is committed to a fair investigation and vowed strict punishment to the culprits. The recent irregularities and paper leaks are being dealt with strongly, and the government's focus is on improving the exam process, the president said amid an uproar over the word NEET. Such incidents, leaked question papers, have happened in many states. There is a need for measures beyond politics, he told assembled MPs from the ruling and opposition parties. Concerns over the NEET exam were flagged after an unusually high number of students, a record 67 including 6 from one coaching center, scored a perfect 720 in an uber-competitive exam. There were also red flags over grace mark 1,563 students. On paper, these were for students who ran out of time, but it was later confirmed there is no protocol for awards of such marks. The CBI was tasked with investigating allegations of leaked question papers and criminal gangs, double solver gangs. Multiple arrests from Bihar, Delhi, and Maharashtra have been made so far. Among the 4 men arrested from Bihar was Anurag Yadav, a NEET aspirant who confessed that he and his friends had received copies of the question paper 24 hours before the exam. Yadav, who was preparing at coaching center in Rajasthan's Kota, told cops he had been summoned home by his uncle, Sikandar P. Yadavendu, a municipal employee who purchased copies of the question paper from the 2 other accused and sold them for a profit of Yadav's friends. Other arrested include Sanif Mukhia from Bihar, whom cops have called the mastermind, and Irana Kongalwar from Maharashtra, who ran a coaching center in the city of Latur. A CBI team also visited a school in Jharkhand's Hazaribagh and questioned its principal. Last week, CBI sources told NDTV a nationwide corruption racket run by a handful of key individuals is likely behind various leaked question papers, including for NEET, UGC NET, for appointment of professorial posts in colleges and universities, and qualifying exams for state police forces. Many of these exams are conducted by the National Testing Agency, a central body under the fierce scrutiny after the NEET and NET rules, and which received a Supreme Court notice this morning. Nearly 24 lakh students took the NEET exam held on May 5. Days after the NEET controversy broke, the government voided the results of the UGC NET exam 48 hours after it was held. This was based on police input that said the paper may be leaked. The sordid scenario took a predictable political twist too, with members of the opposition, particularly the Congress-led India bloc, targeting the ruling BJP. The government hit back by claiming connections between ex-Bihar Chief Minister Tejaswi Yadav, whose RJD is part of the India group, the Yadavendu. The RJD denied the claim and accused the BJP of trying to shift focus. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi called BJP rule states the epicenter of paper leak. The reference was to cops busting a massive paper leak racket for the Uttar Pradesh Police Constable exam. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has said a high-level committee will be formed and that the interests of the students is the first priority of the government. The government has also operationalized a stringent law that aims to curb malpractices and irregularities in competitive examinations. A maximum jail term of 10 years and a fine of up to 1 crore for offenders are some of the tough measures under the law. After burning down several Kukizo houses located in various localities and towns areas of Jiribam on 6 June 2024, driving the Kukis away from their homes, the Meiteis have reportedly begun to loot all abandoned properties of the Kukis. The Kuki houses in Kalinagar Marveng, where the Meiteis mob could not burn due to the mixed population of Rongmei, Meitei and Kuki communities, have been looted by the Meitei mob in broad daylight since Tuesday. On June 24th, the houses of Darochan Mar, Lalzom Gangte, Zonun Moy Mar, Henry Zote, HN, Lala Mar, and Soybuang Vaipei were looted, while homes of Raltuan Lui Mar, Lalnei Muang Mar, and HJ Dinga Mar were looted on June 25, 2024. The displaced Meiteis have also occupied the houses of Lal Varlian Mar of Marveng, Kalinagar 1, James Tangkhan Pao of Kalinagar 1, and CL Rabat Ngaite of Babupara Jiribam. Yesterday at around 10 p.m., there was a report that the Meiteis arsonists tried to burn Mar houses, but were stopped by Rongmei neighbors. The Assam Rifles later dispersed the Meitei mob and guarded the abandoned houses. Meanwhile, Mar Students Association Joint Headquarters, in its condemnation statement issued today, stated that association has come to learn that the Meitei miscreants looted houses abandoned by the Mar community on the 24th and 25th of June 2024 in broad daylight. The houses were abandoned after the 6th of June 2024 in the aftermath of the arson that took place at Utantol, Village Weird. The Arambay Tengol Jiribam unit tore several houses of the Kuki Zo Mar community. In the statement, Mar Students Association said it had staunchly supported peace in Jiribam district since the beginning of the ethnic conflict between the warring communities in Manipur, and they have maintained peace until 6th of June 2024. Condemning the act of looting that has been carried out at various localities of Jiribam district by the Meitei criminals, the student body also vehemently denounced the displaced Meiteis who have occupied the deserted Kuki Zo Mar houses at Marveng, Kalinagar 1, Jiribam district. This rude and obnoxious gesture of the Meitei is equivalent to that of a hungry kleptoparasite, it said. The Apex Mar student body also urged the concerned authority to look into the matter at the earliest time possible and to book the criminals as deemed fit. Chief Minister Biren Singh convened a meeting with the ruling MLAs to discuss the current situation in Manipur. Meanwhile, BJP's Manipur President A. Sarda Devi met Union Home Minister Amit Shah in New Delhi on Thursday and held an extensive discussion on the current situation in the ethnic strife-hit state. Adhikari Mayun Sarda Devi said that she asked for immediate attention to bring permanent solution and tranquility to the state, met Honorable Home Minister Mananiya Sri Amit Shahji for an extensive discussion on the current situation in Manipur, conveyed the people's aspirations and asked immediate attention to bring permanent solution and tranquility to the state. While appreciating the ongoing efforts, she posted on X. Additionally, highlighted the need for resettling IDPs, internally displaced persons, and providing maximum support for smooth rehabilitation, she added. The Nagaland government remains hopeful and confident of achieving a Naga political solution during the third term of the Narendra Modi-led NDA government at the center, according to State Minister Temjem Imna Along. In this new government of the NDA led by PM Modi, the state government would love to see the mitigation of the Naga political issue positively, said Along, who also served as the government spokesperson and Minister for Tourism and Higher Education on Thursday. He emphasized the need for the Nagas to be assertive in building confidence between the state and central governments. This cooperation is essential for coming together with the Naga political groups currently in dialogue with the center to find a resolution to the decade-old issue. To be able to solve that, we all have to come together, and that we should be done first because it cannot be resolved without sitting down and talking, he said. The Nagaland government has constituted a political affairs committee (PAC) comprising ministers and legislature party leaders from all political parties in the state assembly to seek an inclusive solution to the Naga political issue. The state government is committed to see that our people have lasting peace for development and progress, he added. The Center and the National Socialist Council of Nagaland, Isaac Muiva, NSC and IM entered into a ceasefire agreement in 1997 and began dialogues to resolve the Naga issue. Both sides signed a framework agreement in 2015. The central government also initiated separate discussions with the Working Committee of Naga National Political Groups, WC and NPGs in 2017, culminating in the agreed position the same year. However, a final solution remains elusive as the center has consistently refused the NSC and IM's demand for a separate flag and constitution for the Naga people, as well as the integration of all Naga inhabited areas under one umbrella. When asked about the reported differences within the People's Democratic Alliance (PDA) and pre-poll partnership between the Nationalist Democratic Progressive Party (NDPP) and the BJP following the Lok Sabha election debacle, Elong dismissed the concerns. The PDA is intact, he stated. It is just the presumption and assumption of the many critics, but in politics, many things happen. The core value of the PDA is always strong and will continue to give stability and good governance as far as possible to the people of Nagaland, he affirmed. In every election, one or the other issue crops up, but the PDA aligns under the leadership of Chief Minister Neifuriao and the Deputy Chief Minister Waipaton of BJP and T.R. Ziliang of NDPP have an agenda, and the agenda is Nagaland, he concluded. An incident claimed the lives of 3 individuals, including a Myanmar national, during a sand digging operation along the banks of the Tiao River in Mizoram's Champhai district on Thursday. According to police, the incident occurred around 11 a.m. near Malbuk village when a section of the surface collapsed unexpectedly. Police sources revealed that 2 individuals lost their lives instantly as the surface caved in, while the Myanmar national succumbed to his injuries while being transported to a nearby hospital. 1 person sustained injuries in the mishap and has since been admitted to Champhai District Hospital for medical care. The police officer in charge of the case expressed deep regret over the incident, highlighting the dangers associated with such operations. The India Meteorological Department (IMD) has forecast heavy to very heavy rainfall along the West Peninsular coast during the next 4 days. The IMD said that the conditions will be present over Saurashtra, Kerala, South Interior Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, coastal Andhra Pradesh, coastal Karnataka, Gujarat, Goa, and Maharashtra today. In North India, similar conditions will prevail over Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, East Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, and Haryana during the next 5 days. While in East and Central India, heavy rainfall conditions have been predicted over Madhya Pradesh, Gangatik, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Bihar, and Jharkhand till the end of this month, whereas light to moderate rainfall with thunderstorm, lightning, and isolated heavy rainfall is expected by the IMD to fall over sub-Himalayan West Bengal, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, and Tripura during the next 4 days. Meanwhile, the weather agency has predicted no significant change in maximum temperatures over the rest of the country. Amid rising security concerns and escalating tensions in Lebanon, both India and the United States issued travel advisories for their respective nationals and urged them to exercise caution and reconsider travel plans to the Middle Eastern nation. Apart from India and US, Russia's embassy in Beirut also called on its citizens to refrain from traveling to Lebanon until the situation settled down in the southern part of the country. In the advisory, the Indian embassy in Lebanon advised all Indian nationals to remain vigilant and maintain communication with the embassy through designated channels. In a statement, the embassy emphasized, in view of the current situation in Lebanon, all Indian nationals in Lebanon are advised to exercise caution and remain in contact with Embassy of India in Beirut through our email address cons@mea.gov.in or through emergency helpline number +961 768 60128. Similarly, the U.S. Embassy in Lebanon highlighted the unpredictable security environment, warning U.S. citizens to strongly reconsider any plans to visit Lebanon. The security environment remains complex and can change quickly, the embassy stated. It specifically cautioned against travel to certain regions including southern Lebanon, the Lebanon-Syria border area, and refugee settlements. Both embassies underscored the importance of staying informed about local developments and maintaining awareness of one's surroundings. Tensions between Israel and Lebanon have risen sharply since the October 7 Hamas attack on Israel and the ensuing military campaign by Israel in Gaza. Lebanon's Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah has been firing missiles, mortars, and drones into Israel, and Israel has returned that fire, CNN reported. Tens of thousands of people on both sides of the mountainous border have fled as concerns intensified about the possible outbreak of another full-fledged war. Union Minister for Food, Consumer Affairs and Public Distribution, Prahlad Joshi, and Union Minister for Heavy Industries and Steel, HD, Kumaraswamy, on Friday expressed grief over the Karnataka road accident that claimed 13 lives. The government should provide immediate relief to the families of those killed in the road accident in Gondenahalli in Haveri district. May God give strength to their families. The state government should make arrangements for the treatment of the injured, Union Minister Joshi said. According to Haveri SP, the wrongful parking of the truck on the road led to the accident. Drivers must follow the rules without fail. Any negligence in this matter results in the loss of lives. The concerned officers should initiate strict actions in this regard, Kumaraswamy said. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and State BJP President B.Y. Vijayendra also expressed their condolences to the families of the deceased. Former CM and BJP MP Basavaras Bommai expressed shock over the incident and prayed for the families of the deceased. The state government must provide compensation through the Chief Minister's Relief Fund and proper treatment to the injured, Bommai added. At least 13 people, including 8 women and 2 children, were killed after a tempo traveler rammed into a parked truck in Haveri district of the state. The Congress on Friday claimed the leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi's mic was turned off as he raised the NEET paper leak issue in the Lok Sabha. The Congress shared a video on X showing Rahul Gandhi requesting Speaker Om Birla for access to a microphone. Rahul Gandhi sought a debate on the NEET controversy and demanded a statement from the government. In response, Speaker Om Birla clarified that he does not switch off the microphones of MPs and has no such control. The discussion should be on the President's address. Other matters will not be recorded in the House, Birla said. While on one hand, Narendra Modi is not saying anything on NEET, opposition leader Rahul Gandhi is raising the voice of the youth in the House. But on such a serious issue, a conspiracy is being hatched to suppress the voice of the youth by doing cheap acts like switching off the mic, Congress tweeted, sharing a video of the same. The NEET UG 2024 examination for undergraduate medical programs has stirred a row amid claims of a question paper leak and has triggered nationwide protests from students. As the proceedings began, Congress MP K.C. Venugopal submitted an adjournment motion in the Lok Sabha to discuss the case of paper leaks. However, the Speaker said the House would discuss the motion of thanks to the President's address to Parliament. As a ruckus erupted in the Lok Sabha, the Speaker adjourned the House till July 1. Government sources said there was no tradition of bringing an adjournment motion during the motion of thanks to the President's address. The opposition is making an unnecessary demand. The government is very much ready to speak on the issue of NEET, a source said. Last week, President Vladimir Putin made an official state visit to North Korea, his first in nearly 25 years. During the visit, Putin and Kim Jong-un signed a defense pact in Pyongyang on June 19. The military treaty states, in the event that any one of the two sides is put in a state of war by an armed invasion from an individual state or several states, the other side shall provide military and other assistance with all means in possession without delay. Following the agreement, North Korea announced that it will send a military engineering unit to support Russian forces in the Donetsk region, with troops expected to arrive as early as next month, Kyiv Post reported. Since the leaders met in Russia in September, the DPRK has already provided Russia with nearly 2 million rounds of artillery ammunition, rockets for multiple launch rocket systems, and elixir ballistic missiles. The involvement of North Korean combat troops raises concerns about the conflict's escalation, particularly as experts believe the deployment may not fare well to Pyongyang's sappers. Pentagon spokesperson Pat Ryder questioned the wisdom of the deployment during a briefing on June 25, stating that North Korean troops were being sent to the slaughter in an illegal war against Ukraine. He said, "I think that if I were North Korean military personnel management, I would be questioning my choices on sending my forces to be cannon fodder in an illegal war against Ukraine. We have seen the kinds of casualties that Russian forces have been taking." He also mentioned that the U.S. was monitoring the deepening military ties between the two countries. A 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Peru early Friday, injuring at least 3 people, triggering a tsunami alert and shaking buildings as far as the capital Lima, about 600 miles away, according to officials. The quake struck about a mile off the coast of Peru's Arequipa region at 12:36 a.m. local time, the USGS said. Several aftershocks were also recorded off Arequipa, Peru's National Seismological Center said. Peruvian authorities issued a tsunami alert on the country's coast and warned that waves could reach the town of Puerto Atico by 12:52 a.m. The United States Tsunami Warning Center said about an hour later that the tsunami threat had passed. Peru's Minister of Health said in a statement that a hospital in the town of Acari, near the epicenter, had treated 3 people with minor injuries. There were reports of landslides, damaged homes, and blocked roads, according to the local news media. After the quake, videos on social media showed furniture and security cameras shaking for nearly 30 seconds, including in Lima. The USGS said that residents near the earthquake live in buildings that were highly vulnerable to earthquake shaking, such as those built with mud wall and masonry construction. Peru lies on a flat boundary that stretches across the western coast of South America. The world's strongest recorded earthquake was a 9.6 magnitude temblor in 1960 along the boundary in Chile, the USGS said. Peru's last deadly earthquake killed at least 2 people in 2022 at magnitude 5.4, the USGS said. In 2018, a 7.1 magnitude quake near Arequipa killed at least 14 people and left 12,000 people homeless. An earthquake that originated off Peru in 1970 was one of the worst in the country's history, killing about 70,000 people, leaving 200,000 others without shelter, and prompting a worldwide humanitarian response. The Kenyan President, William Ruto, has withdrawn a bill to raise taxes a day after violent protests erupted around the country following its approval by Parliament. Ruto's surprise decision not to sign the finance bill came after violent clashes between police and protesters at the Kenyan Assembly, and across the country left at least 23 people dead and scores wounded, according to medics. listening keenly to the people of Kenya who have said loudly that they want nothing to do with this Finance Bill 2024, I concede, and therefore I will not sign the 2024 Finance Bill, and it shall subsequently be withdrawn, he said in a press briefing in Nairobi. The climb down will be seen as a major setback for Ruto, who came to power vowing to help Kenyans cope with rising costs, but has seen much of the country, led by youth, unite in opposition to his latest attempts at reforms. In an attempt to further diffuse the volatile situation, Ruto proposed a dialogue with young people, civil society, religious organizations, and professional bodies on the bill. He also directed austerity measures to reduce expenditure in his office, the executive, parliament, as well as in the judiciary and county governments to ensure that we do live within our means, respecting the very loud message that is coming from the people of Kenya. The move will be considered a victory for the week-old protest movement that grew from online condemnations of tax increases into mass rallies demanding a political overhaul in the most serious crisis of Ruto's two-year-old presidency. Kenya is Africa's largest economy and a pillar of peace in a relatively turbulent region is reeling from Tuesday's protests. Thousands of people gathered in Nairobi, the capital, with some storming into parliament and other offices of government institutions and setting parts of them fire. Police opened fire and shot tear gas on protesters. At least 23 people were killed and another 30 were being treated for bullet wounds, according to the Kenyan Medical Association. Protests also took place in other cities and towns across the country. Last week, one person was killed and at least 200 others were injured in demonstrations, according to human rights groups and the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, a police watchdog. In an unusual move, Kenya's Defense Minister, Aden Duale, on Tuesday announced the deployment of the military to support police in response to the security emergency caused by the ongoing violent protests. Kenya's High Court on Wednesday ordered the military deployment suspended after a challenge by the Kenya Law Society. Before backing down, Ruto had described Tuesday's event as treasonous and blamed the violence on criminals. On Wednesday, Ruto acknowledged that, calling it an unfortunate situation and offered condolences. He said about 200 people have been wounded. The protests have been driven largely by youth-led digital activism, with young Kenyans using X, TikTok, and other platforms to oppose the bill, crowdfund, organize, and mobilize demonstrations. On Tuesday, non-governmental organizations say there had been 21 abductions and disappearances by officers over the past 24 hours, with some of the victims having been vocal on social media about the planned protests. As senior federal law enforcement officials say Thursday that Russia had sent 10,000 recently naturalized citizens to fight in Ukraine amid Moscow's manpower shortage. Male migrants who receive Russian citizenship are required by law to register with the Russian military and can be called upon up to serve in the army during mobilization. We have begun to implement constitutional and legal provisions, quote, more than 30,000 of those who receive citizenship but were unwilling to register with the military, said Alexander Bastrikin, who heads Russian Investigative Committee. Approximately 10,000 of them have been sent to the area of the special military operation, he said at a law forum in St. Petersburg, using the Kremlin's preferred term for its invasion of Ukraine. Bastrikin described military registration and deployment as a trick that led migrants to slowly begin leaving Russia. A video of the law forum session, which was dedicated to migration policy, was broadcast live on the Ostorozhno Novosti Telegram news channel shared Bastrikin's remarks. The officials said that 10,000 naturalized citizens sent to Ukraine dig trenches and build fortifications, suggesting that they have not been deployed on combat missions. Bastrikin added that 3 million migrants have arrived in Moscow and St. Petersburg alone in the first 4 months of 2024 and called for tighter laws to limit those figures. That is all for today's news, and have a pleasant evening ahead.